Hello, everybody. How you doing today? Here today to talk a little bit about two things, really. One of them, who you already know from the title. Stacy's here with us to talk a little bit today. Also, we're here to talk a little bit about something Travis and I have in the works here that's going to be coming out probably over the next week, maybe even a little more than a week. But it's going to be coming out in multiple parts. We're going to be basically just like line by line in a sense, or at least hitting the high points, going through Zellner's motion for post-conviction relief that she originally filed after she did her testing. So we're going to go through that, as the 1,200 page thing, lots of expert affidavits and all that sort of stuff. So we're going to go through her argument, basically, and it's going to be probably about 5, possibly 6 segments. And we're going to break it up that way so that it's easier, because if we tried to just throw it all at you at one time, it would just be mind numbing. Anyways, so we are going to be going after that, here in the next, like I said, week or so. We're preparing the intro to this for tomorrow night. Hopefully that's going to work out. We're still preparing it, but it should be ready by all rights by tomorrow night. It will be a premiere about the section of the motion that we're talking about, and it will be followed up by a live with Travis and I for people to ask questions if there was something in the premiere that we were going over that they didn't understand fully or whatever, or just had another question about. We're going to go live after each one to give people the opportunity to ask those questions. Keep in mind, wherever your question is, if you have a question during the premiere, remember what slide. Look down in the bottom right corner of the slide and look at what number that slide is, so that when you come back with your question later, we know what you're referring to. So keep those things in mind, but that's what we got going on right now. It's been kind of a lot of, preparation and everything. So anyways, Stacy, how you doing, buddy? Sorry I had to get that out of the way there real quick.
I'm good. How are you?
Hey, glad to have you here, dude. Always a pleasure, my friend.
Happy to be here.
So
no echo or anything before we get going?
I don't hear one. As long as we both got our headphones, there shouldn't be. Unless we had our YouTube window unmuted. Right. There you go. That would do it. But all right, so let's see what's going on in the hello. Let's see. Pants off. All right, so everybody's saying hi. Ziggy Hello. Swooning. So anyways, I don't know if all of you guys out there saw it today, Zellner's tweet. I imagine most people did, because I'm going to show it to you right now. When you see the amount of people that have responded to it, it's freaking ridiculous. But Zellner, man, she's throwing down the gauntlet with Colborn. She's like, oh, hey, listen up, Andy. Come on in. Come on into our law offices. We got an exact replica cabinet, exact replica key, exact replica lanyard. Come on over and show us how it was done. And then she says, you got a 10-day time period. I love her sense of humor. So
yeah, it's awesome. I mean, and why shouldn't she, after he files that lawsuit against Netflix, which is a lobby against her as well, right?
Right.
So so
Linda K Breuer asks, when did you decide to write songs about making a murder?
Oh, I never really decided. The TikTok, the MAM sub on Reddit went over to TikTok Manitowoc, and then I just started playing this little. I just started singing TikTok, and that was the first song that came out, TikTok Manitowoc. And then as I just learned more and more about it, it was like I'd just be sitting with my guitar, and they would just come out. So the only one I actually went and tried to write, because I felt bad, was a little bit about avoiding the subject, was the Brendan Dassey one, which I was talking about last time I was on your channel. So I tried to write that one. All the others just sort of came out naturally. So but I write songs. They're so simple. My songs are so simple that I just write them about anything and everything, and have for quite a while now.
Yeah, they come off well. And when you take them into the studio, I really like that barn studio, man.
Oh,
like what
Mark
happens.
Atkinson. He's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, that barn.
yeah.
I don't know what it is. I don't know what is the other studios that you were going to. Is there two different ones?
No. There's just usually it's just me with the iPhone. That's when the songs. The first version of the song is just me with an
Well, the
iPhone.
acoustic,
And
right?
yeah, and then I've just been going to Mark, and I used to go somewhere else a long time ago, but he just does everything. We're a good match because he's so talented, and it's a little give and take because they change the songs a bit, and as a creative person, I want to keep them as I know them,
Right.
and then you have to give a bit, and I've learned how to. So I think that's what's changed in the last maybe 6 months is I've learned to let go, and I trust him now, and we got a good relationship, and
Right.
he does his stuff. Virtually
Yeah.
everything that sounds good on the studio recordings is Mark.
I don't know what it is, but I don't know why you decided to label the barn studio versions, but those versions are freaking badass, dude.
Yeah, because they're done. He dials them in. He's right there.
Ah,
So
okay.
yeah.
So
We
you
got
just
four. Actually, I'm going into the studio. One on the 21st, 22nd, and we're going to try and do "Don't Get Strange," Zelnami coming, "Lies and Truth," and I might try and fit "Truth Train" in there.
right.
So hopefully get them all. I don't think I'm going to ever record 36 million, but you never know. There's too many inaccuracies about it now. A bit. Now
Oh yeah,
that I know more,
things
but
you know now that you didn't know
yeah,
then,
yeah, that's
right?
right.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah,
That just means you go back and rewrite it a little bit.
maybe I might. Yeah, but that's
Dude,
a
it
long,
is a
hard.
cool song because you got some good lines in there. I mean,
Yeah,
you got
but
some
that's
good lines in there that stand up. So
yeah, still, dude. Yeah, that's right.
right.
Yeah. But it's a hard one to sing for that long. It's a long song. So,
Yeah, it is
but you
fun
never
though,
know. It might.
dude. The
But
part when you go, it become a 10-part docu song. I about want to bust my gut every time on that part. I love that bit.
it could be. Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah.
Jamie says, by the way, Jamie's like me says he wants to hear you write the 10-part docu song.
Yeah, maybe I should. Maybe
It would be, yeah, it could be fun.
We might have time for that. To be honest,
Yeah,
by
could
the
be.
time this case is over.
Yeah, when we're waiting in the in between periods.
Yeah, yeah. Back to that Colborn thing. He won't, and he can't. That's the thing. And
Yeah.
we were just talking beforehand. I was just storyboarding these. I got some ideas that I want to do with the next 6 months. Like, I do want to make it to Manitowoc in June, and I was going to do this cross country tour where I did a video blog or vlog or whatever. And I thought about things I could do along the way to make the videos a bit more interesting. And I had just written that. I'd written that idea down 2 days ago, and then Zellner popped it out on her tweet today.
Right. Let me show you guys all that, what he's talking about right now.
I called it the AC challenge, and I thought it would be an interesting video to have a cabinet set up in the public, on the sidewalk or something, and just ask people to try, like just over and over, ask people to try to twist, turn, shake it. Yeah.
So guys, this is the Zellner tweet that he is referring to. You can see Sergeant Colborn challenge. We invite you into our law offices to reenact the bookcase story you told the jury. We have an identical key in bookcase. Show us how your trial testimony is true, and we will drop the claim that it is not. 10-day offer. I love that it's a 10-day offer. That is just hilarious to me. But anyway, so then what Stacy was just referring to about that he had just had the idea, he went ahead and tweeted this to Ms. Zellner because he had a similar thought, and he posted it right here where he wrote down the AC challenge. So I'm telling you guys, Stacy's a smart cookie, man.
We're on the same page. It was a little fun because I was like, oh, at least we're on the same page, or maybe a lot of people are. That sometimes happens too. But yeah, I think I'm interested in that case, to be honest. If it'll ever go anywhere, Greaseback against Netflix, like that to me is funny.
Yeah. Oh God.
There's just so much. I mean, so much.
It's like looking at Zellner's attitude, like, yeah, bring them all in for depositions.
Yeah.
It's
let's get those phone records. Yeah. That's what I want. Let's
see a whole new round of depositions where a bunch of deputies look very uncomfortable asking questions.
That's right. Yeah.
Or answering questions, right? Let's have a whole new round of that. That was fun last time, right?
Well, it might be happening. Hopefully, hey. I mean,
yeah, I mean it's great for us. They're not going to like it so much when they're in the hot seat, but
no. And you know what? Coming February 1st, what are we, 2 weeks away now? I mean,
right?
I don't know what Zellner was talking about with her.
Big surprise thing.
Yeah, the big surprise. I think that just fizzled out or something. But
or
I'm looking forward to it.
or maybe it came out and it was subtle.
Right. Yeah,
maybe.
know. Yeah,
but I
don't know
imagine
either.
somebody would have picked up on it though.
Yeah.
But so
there's a lot of action these days on the. There's so many channels now. I didn't realize there were so many. I've kind of subscribed to a few more that I didn't before, and
right.
We got
Fresh Start Mondays out there. Had him on the show with you before. You remember?
Yeah.
We got Rubber Ducky out there. Rubber Ducky's getting very, very popular. People are liking Rubber Ducky.
Yeah, I like the videos there.
Yeah. So, of course, we got Perplexed QT over there. We got Casey Martinez. And Ripper, who was on my channel recently. He's going to be doing a video here pretty soon to show us what the difference between a open fire and a barrel fire at the distance of 1,038 feet, which is the distance from the Redont deer camp to Stephen Avery's backyard, basically. That's the footage. So he's gonna have something coming up. So this whole community working together is good. And I hope it sticks together, and I hope we can all continue to bring awareness to this case and other cases. Obviously, I do work some other cases. Obviously, Perplexed Cutie works a lot of other cases. She's, obviously she's up in the business of a lot of different cases. I don't have the time for that. I wish I did, but I don't.
Yeah.
But
no, I think it's important.
But I think it's good. The whole thing brings awareness to the entire situation of criminal justice reform, not just making a murderer. So I think that's good.
Hey, I just run 2 seconds.
Sure. So, anyways, that's all I was saying, is that the YouTubers working together on this is a good thing. And I hope it continues. And like I said, something exciting to look forward from Ripper coming up. How's it going, guys? Travis, don't worry. I'm gonna ask Stacy your question right now.
Hi.
Travis wants to know, number one, are you self-taught? And number two, who are your influences?
Yeah, I'm self-taught for sure. I didn't pick up a guitar until I was 23. And, a girlfriend at the time taught me a few chords, but other than that, it was just self-taught. And, Bob Dylan, one of my main ones. I love his wordsmithing and his cryptic lyrics. And so I try and do, I just, because I've learned that way, that's the way I write. I try and write anyways, and, all those guys that, classic rock, sort of not the rock, but ballads and shit like that. So, but one of the things, I do a lot of creative stuff. I've painted and sculpted before and stuff like that. But a fellow artist, probably about 6 months ago, kind of made a critique of me, and she said, "Oh, Stacy, all your stuff has to mean something." And I took it kind of like a little jab at me, and so, and I realized she was right. I always do. I'm a really cranial person. I think things through, and it's one of the reasons I love these songs I've done, because it works with me. They mean something.
I've been told the same thing, and I like your songs for the same reason.
So, maybe that's what it is. Like, I've really been going over why this bugs me so much, and I just gave up. This is what grabbed me, because there's other causes closer to home for me, I could write about, but it didn't, this thing grabbed me. So I just go with it. And for as long as it goes, that's the way I look at it. Yeah.
Absolutely. So I just can't imagine, it'd be funny if Colborn would do it, but he won't, right? I mean,
no, he won't.
I don't know. That tweet is just hilarious though. I mean, I already know that it can't be done, because Zellner's done hers, but I did mine before she did hers.
Yeah.
I've known for years now that is a completely ridiculous story, because that key does not come out easily.
Right.
It's very difficult, and it certainly doesn't fall. And when you do finally get it to come out, it doesn't fall the way it fell. in
right.
the way that the keys lay like forward from the back of the cabinet and everything. No, it doesn't fall that way. They fall up against the baseboard.
And
So it's just
this is one of the things that we have to. I mean, if you can step back and just, I think 90% of people would accept that the story is bogus, like just on face value before even trying it out. It doesn't sound right. And when you try the experiment, if Andrew or anyone from the state tries to replicate it, they won't. There'll be some, and then what I do is I go, okay, then why did he testify that way? And it just comes, I circle right back to that all the time, and all of them. Okay, why did he say that then? And that's where you pivot off that point, and then you start focusing on, well, let's discover why he did it. And I think that's the bigger question and the more interesting answer, or scary answer.
Well, right.
Yeah.
The one that leads to the most answers of why this is happening. Right.
Yeah. Because recently, what was it? I heard a interview with Chad Keller. He wrote a book. Chad. He's been around for a while, and it's interesting. I don't agree with everything that he says, but
I'm right with you on that.
I think he's. I think there's meat to the subjects he asks questions about. I think it goes way further up the chain of command than we think, or a lot of people want to even try to believe.
Yeah.
It's like I said before, it is so crazy how many rabbit holes this thing has.
Certainly.
I was listening to Ali Apperson put on her channel Bobby's, the audio version of Bobby's recent interview with Dietering. And I'd only heard clips of it, but as I listened to it, I mean, it makes me ask a billion more questions.
Yeah.
This is almost torture, this case. Really.
Right. It is.
Yeah.
Excruciating sometimes even.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I mean, I enjoy it too, which is like who knows, some sort of weird neurotic condition where I'm like not obsessed anymore. I was at the beginning, but I'm very, very interested always.
Right. Yeah. I'm certainly.
I try and take breaks. I have to detach for a while.
Yeah.
And then something will grab me back, and then I'm back in it for 2 weeks heavy. Yeah.
I keep a constant thing, but I've gotten to this point where like I just manage my time. I know like when I get home, if I got time, then I can research for a while or whatever, but I make sure I break it up. I'll break it up and watch a movie or something that completely takes my mind to a completely different place so that it's not thinking about, crimes and killers and all that kind of stuff, because you gotta have that perspective in life. Otherwise, dude, it all starts to go off the rails. If it's all about one thing and you don't, it's just, and it's not healthy.
That's right. I'll go for a walk. I'm going to take my dog for a walk, and then just down the road, there's a green RAV. I'm like, Jesus. No kidding. I took a video the other day, and I was going through this little rural area that we have. There's a little creek, and there's a bridge across the creek, and I just look over, and I'm not kidding, there's a burn barrel, like a rusted, and I was like, are you kidding me? Jesus, I can't.
That's what people use, eh?
Yeah. Hey, so by the way, back to your earlier opening comments. I love you and Travis and Ali, that group, man. That's the quality stuff. I love it. You guys should do a regular serve.
We're hoping Ali's going to get hoping Ali's going to get better soon.
Yeah. It's like for me, it's real marrow stuff when you have Travis's expertise on there, and it's just so it's great. So for me, it separates from some of the other channels, which are entertaining too. I like the research that those people do, but having Travis there as a reference point, man, that really is. I bet you, like I
to
really
help understand the legal. Yeah,
you could do one night a week. I bet. Like
different legal aspects of it.
Yeah, like a Thursday or whatever night you choose, but you could do that for a long time, I think.
Yeah, we're gonna be going over, I think, some of the supplemental filings as well. So we may end up putting together a few videos.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, him and I, he'll be on the channel here coming up, and he'll always be involved, because obviously it's nice to have somebody understanding the legal side of things. Although I've always appreciated Tracy Strunsey, it's just nice to also have a second opinion.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's nice to have
actually.
Tracy. Yeah. It's nice to have Tracy because she's actually in Wisconsin,
Yeah.
so she's a little bit more in tune to the Wisconsin law and stuff. So it's like she's more, you know what I mean, because it's in her state.
Yeah.
So it's kind of nice that she has that. But Travis clearly knows his stuff.
Yeah.
And even though he's
a wealth of experience.
Even though he's in Texas, he has a very good fundamental understanding of the law because he's been practicing it for so long. So so it's nice to have, for me to have both of those sounding boards and those, sources of information. For those of you who don't know who Tracy Strunsey is, she runs a Facebook group called Basically a Lawyer. For those of you who are wondering why it's called that, it's because she basically went through school to become a lawyer, but she's like, I believe she's something like 2 or 3 classes short of being able to go take the bar. She just ended up not going down, she ended up not finishing the school and becoming a lawyer. So it's been kind of not something she's been pursuing. But however, she's done most of the classes, most of everything. She's very knowledgeable about the law. She's very interested in the law. So for those of you who are interested in hearing her point of view on things, like I said, she has a Facebook group called Basically a Lawyer. Check it out if you want to check it out.
Yeah, I just found that, actually. I couldn't believe it took me so long. I just joined it maybe 2 weeks ago or something.
Yeah. Oh, I've been in that group for a while now.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see. Travis says, "Oh, you're too kind, man. Thanks so much for the group effort. Otherwise, couldn't do it." He says, Bob Dylan would completely disagree that they need to mean something. They only need to mean something to you.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Well, that is the way I write. I don't really care if people don't like them.
Right.
I mean, there's a lot of songs that I have, but I just haven't put out there yet.
Yeah, I remember one time I was listening to some MAM songs on your channel, and I walked away and did something, and when I came back to my computer, it was playing some other songs of yours that have since disappeared. I don't know where those songs are anymore. Yeah. But anyways, and I was actually came in, I was like, I kind of dig this one. It wasn't about MAM, but I was kind of like, I like this one.
I do have another channel.
Right.
But I haven't loaded. I go through these phases where I can't stand myself, and
I know.
I rip them all down and then I'll upload them again. And it's getting, with the MAM, with recent sort of interest in them, I haven't ripped those down. But I think actually TikTok Manitowoc, I mean, it's well over 10 from the first time I did it. That song's got, I don't know, 10 or 15,000 hits probably.
Yeah.
But I've ripped it down, I think, 3 different times now. So.
Have you?
Yeah.
Dude, that's the one, dude.
Yeah.
You told the story that was perfect when you walked by your son's room and heard him, because it's just catchy, that part, tick, tock.
He had no choice. He's been with me, so he just hears them, and even if he doesn't like
but
them,
it sticks. It's a sign that it sticks with you, right? It sticks that it's catchy. It's catchy.
That's right. Yeah, I wonder, I always wonder where, I think about, say, where any of these songs will go. They're on YouTube and stuff, and it's cool. I like that. But I had this moment where I thought, and if Alan or Dolores pass away, I'm like, that song might be played, or it's kind of cool to,
or something like that, yeah.
Or create something. Or Avery Road, I think, has some legs somewhere. But to create this thing, and now it's out there, and you just sort of kind of wonder where it's going to roll. You
never know, right?
Or when. I have a sculptor friend. He's about 77. He's quite successful, very successful. And he did a sculpture 25 years ago, and it's just coming to prominence right now.
Oh, wow.
And it's kind of cool, so that's one of the ways I come at the creativity. You just do it while it's in you. You let it go, and then who knows what happens? Maybe nothing.
Yeah, well. I don't know. I think you're getting a pretty big buzz off of what's happening here.
Yeah, it's cool. I love it. Oh man, so many great comments. Like they just fill you up. Like every day you get a few good comments off Twitter or YouTube. It's really wonderful.
Someone just said that TikTok Manitowoc needs to be an MAM3.
Yeah, I wish. I don't think they'll ever make it there, or if there is, or maybe MAM4 or something. But I don't know how to get them. I don't know how to get any more exposure. You know, it's like we're in the echo chamber, so everyone listening probably knows my tunes, but it doesn't have much power yet outside. But never know. Yeah, I would love to. I mean, that'd be a dream, man.
Oh, that'd be cool. I mean, look, dude, hopefully when you get up to start traveling, hopefully, and you come down here, maybe right before rally, maybe you come here, then we go to Wisconsin together.
Yeah. Oh, no, I was hoping. I've actually,
we'll do a little tour. We'll make some noise for you.
Well, this is one of the reasons. So that came up, and I've kind of floated out the idea. I've got a little bit of funding to do something like that, and that's one of the reasons I was going to mention to you tonight is like, so tomorrow I'm actually going to be playing live on a local stage here, and I hope to live stream it if I'm able. So for those of you, I don't know what it'll be after 8:00 Pacific Standard Time, so maybe 8:30, 9:00, somewhere around there. And if I'm able to live stream it, I'm gonna. And I also have just that idea you talked about. Like, I'd like to come down, see you, interview you, do a little, not necessarily about the case, but about you, and then make my way to Wisconsin that way, traveling. I've kind of plotted out certain places where supporters are. Yeah. And so that's an idea. Still trying to source some money for that. And I mean, it's still 5 months away, and I don't think I'd need a huge amount, but so that's cool, you know, and that's one of my dreams with this thing, because I love the subject, and I'm just
the price of an interview with me, though, is that we're going to be playing about 4 or 5 of your songs here live in the studio.
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, I'm singing. Yeah,
that's right. We'll sing it together, dude. Yeah. It works when you're in the same room, not so much when you're talking through a hangout, though. It doesn't
that's right. I was thinking for one of them, maybe it could be TikTok or something, but I thought, I should just put out a karaoke version and just let people.
Yes,
that'd be fun, eh?
dude, yes. And whatever one you do, make sure it's one of your songs that has Legal Stain in it, because I will be up there killing that part. Dude.
Oh, actually, yeah, no, that's the one. Actually, that's the main one I want to do next week in studio. Is Don't Get Strange. I forgot. Yeah. So that'd be cool if I could get that down, like a good version of that. But
yeah. I was hoping to get you to do that here.
I don't know.
I was actually trying to find one of my. Actually, was finding one of my friends who's a recording engineer. To see if we could go over and see him and stuff.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, I was kind of planning it out to go do that and have
we could
instead of the Barn Studios version, it'd be the Erekose Studios version.
Tons of versions, eh? It could be all types of versions.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So that's what I was thinking. I was having fun with that idea for a minute. So hopefully we'll get you down here at some point. You know,
I do want to. Yeah, and I actually hope it's sooner than later. To be honest, I mean, if you're cold down there right now, you can imagine us up here. And,
you're right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So
nice and snowy up there, right?
It was last week, but it's all rained off now. It's damp, and just a good change.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. Group karaoke always win.
That'd be awesome.
It's a good group song. Yeah, that's why I say if we're all at rally together, dude, we could totally do a little sing along. You know, with everybody, it could be a really cool thing.
I was actually hoping to do a video of Avery Road.
And Travis wants you to go to Austin. By the way.
Yeah, no, that's true. I want to go there too. Actually, you know what? I had this idea where I go see you. There's someone else. I forget. There's someone in Oregon. And then I go down to see you, and then I go down to, because I've talked to Casey. I wanted to interview her.
Okay, Casey Martinez.
But that was like, maybe I talked to her about a year ago, so she might. I mean, I think she said she'd be into it, but she might be busy. But and then down to Austin, and then it'd be a cool little trip for me. But like I say, and I think
like I said, if we do it around rally time, where it's like part of your loop, dude, it could be like a
Yeah.
I mean, I'll be following you live. You can be going live for yourself. We can be doing all this. We can, be interacting with everybody there. I mean, I think it could be a huge boost, a huge deal, possibly.
Well, I think
enough people get behind it.
One of the things I had the idea of is because I like my songs and people are kind and stuff, but I thought it would be more of an intellectual sort of discovery into why injustice bugs people, but also along that trip to do a little info session as you're going, wherever you're staying. You could have, I'm still playing with the idea, but I have a lot. That's why I was storyboarding that AC challenge. And
right.
I have a bunch of ideas like that, so we'll see. I mean, sometimes you put the energy out there and things happen. So we'll see. Yeah.
Oh,
sometimes they don't.
We'll see what happens, dude. But
Yeah.
I definitely think that idea of doing a loop like that at rally time would be pretty stellar. By the way, I wanted to say thank you very much, Adrian. That was very kind. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. She did a $20 super chat and said that we're both great. So you deserve to get your part of the compliment there.
Hey, thanks.
But thank you very much, Adrian. You're very kind. Let's see what we got here. Okay, everybody's talking about your favorite songs by you.
Go lay down.
Travis says live music capital is Austin, but Cleveland does rock. I love how everybody has their prides.
It'd be really great if I could bring Mark Atkinson, and he's a very well-known musician, and he has a band called the Bills. They tour around the state sometimes. That'd be awesome to get him. That'd be great to tour with someone that sounds like the studio versions rather than just the acoustic. I like the acoustic versions too, but it's a little boring.
Yeah, I can imagine. You need to get a band. You need to get somebody behind you that can play the drums.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
you got to buy your son some drums.
Yeah. Oh, we had him once. We had him back in the day. That lasted not too long.
Yeah, well, because it gets noisy, eh?
Like, sure does.
Shut the hell up! And stop banging on those drums.
Yeah. Actually, it's a funny story. It was like he was getting into drums, and it was unfortunately the first Christmas that me and his mom had split up. So I had him for Christmas that day, and I bought this drum set, and it was stacked, underneath the tree. Yeah. And he just came down and he looked at it. And he just bowed his head and he cried. That was so sad that day. But he bounced back. I just got to fix my animals here.
Okay, go ahead. All right, let's see what's going on in the comments here. Just do a tour, eh? Yep. That's what I'm trying to do. Hopefully we'll get him to do a loop on his way to Wisconsin. That'll be the tour. I hope we can do it because I think it will. I think it'll make some noise. I think it can maybe get some attention, possibly.
It'll just be fun. I think, here's what I think. I think there are many benefits to all these channels. There's benefits to the heavy stuff, like the intellectual stuff, the not so intellectual stuff, the light stuff, like my songs. Anything to continue getting those people that get involved with MAM or MAM2, and it keeps them alive, because that's anything is good. It's better than nothing. And I said to someone in a post the other day, if it was me in prison and there was no chance of me getting out, it would help me immensely to know that this stuff was going on outside the prison walls. So
right. Yeah, true.
I mean, can you imagine? Just you don't have a hope. Like, they have hope now because of Kathleen, but before that, like, say 7 years ago, man, these guys, so it's brutal what's happening. But
absolutely.
Yeah.
Let's see. Travis was saying he really needs to hear this from an interview of Bob Dylan. Number one, interviewer Phil Ox wrote in Broadside that you have twisted so many people's wigs that he feels it becomes increasingly dangerous for you to perform in public. Bob Dylan, well, that's the way it goes, I can't apologize, certainly.
Yeah, that's right. Well, to be honest, I'm a little, I have.
When you tear it down, I think you're apologizing, aren't you? But you shouldn't be, because it's good stuff.
Well, no, I mean a little bit. Maybe I'm not so self-promoting, but no. But I mean, when I think about going to Manitowoc, there is a bit of me that worries about if I've twisted any wigs. To be honest, I mean, there's a little part of me that goes, should I go there, or because you just don't know. Like, if you start reading into the depth, if you start sort of buying into this goes deeper than anything, and these certain group of people there might be excessively kind of evil. And all this, this recent post or this recent news where two other people or bodies were found in a burn pile. I mean, I'm going, what is going on
right
in Wisconsin? Like, and then I talked to this filmmaker, local guy here just down the road, who traveled through Wisconsin. He said that was the best. He loved it. Best people. It was one of his best places in the world, Wisconsin.
I had a good time in Wisconsin. Yeah. I actually did.
I think I would too. But
yeah, I mean,
I just don't want to get arrested for anything.
I mean, I was sticking with Mark pretty much all the time. Power in numbers, but
Well, that's very important, I think.
So, but what was I going to say? But I was also thinking, one of the things that might, be cool to also consider and try to do, and it's been tossed around by the Wrecking Crew, is seeing as rallies already scheduled for June 15th, that we all, that's on a Friday, I believe it's
right.
So if it's scheduled for that day, I'm thinking, we're thinking that possibly we might create a campaign to, let people know, hey, maybe you go a day or two early, and we all go on, say, Thursday or the 14th, and we all go over to the steps of the Capitol in Madison and, rally for Brendan and talk about, possible clemency for Brendan and try to get Tony Evers' kind of attention that way. So it's something that the Wrecking Crew's been tossing around, an idea. This is probably, I think, the first time I'm actually voicing it fully, the idea in a video, but it is something that's been getting tossed around. And with some of the comments that Steven Drizzen has been making recently about Brendan's, a couple of Brendan's possibilities are clemency or pardon. So obviously Brendan's legal team is willing to get him out of jail. They're more worried about that, which that's fine. But I also understand why Zellner isn't willing to go for an Alford plea or anything like that, because she's already put a bunch of money on the line.
Well, I don't think it's the money. I think it's the principle, and I think she knows that she has them. I think she knows it's just a matter of time. That's what I feel. Like, you get past this judge, and you get to someone with a bit more power. It's hard to say how many stops are going to pull out.
Yeah. Hopefully the appeals judges are going to look at the evidence and everything, and they're going to go, okay, I'm kind of wondering about some of these things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, some of these things, I'm kind of interested. I'd like to hear more.
One Brady violation will do it.
Right.
And she can't get that out of what she has,
Well, I mean, I think it's there, but Judge Angela Sukowicz wasn't going to give it to her.
No,
of course,
that's right. Yeah. But it's like beyond the legal stuff. I think what people really, once you get into it, like I keep saying, is you start. Why are these things happening? Like, she's not looking at it. Just
right.
As Karen from, I think I forget her, Karen, one of the people that comments on your channel. She said, as these things stack up, one off, no big deal. But as they stack up in one case, you get to this point where you're just going, hey, something's up. And and hopefully, I hope that some power, FBI, even though they might be involved already, but takes a look at Wisconsin in general. They just seem like that particular, I don't know if it's just the county, but the on-bank review stunk to me, man. That was just.
Oh yeah.
I just don't. I feel like if someone had the power to investigate, you would find a trail there of
Well,
people pulling strings, so.
I mean, for me, it's no small wonder about the fact that Judge Sykes was a former Supreme Court, judge in Wisconsin, the Wisconsin Supreme Court.
Right.
She came from the Wisconsin Supreme Court, and she was a part of the majority. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, they overturned Brendan after he had won twice. It's so, yeah. I mean, it's just, and if it had been a tie, Brendan would have won. That's what makes it so weird that one judge, Judge Posner, stepped down when he did.
I know. That's the thing. Yeah.
It's just so.
It's so in your face. That's what gets me. And that's what kind of fuels all these, like my activism on the cases. It's such in your face lies that they just can, they can just get away with it. And they seem to have covered most of their bases because they're relying on no one having the determination to run the whole way with it. And I think they never counted on Kathleen. I think she's gonna, even if it's 12 years from now, I think she's, like she said in the documentary, she's just gonna keep knocking on the door, and let's hope she is successful, someone answers.
Yeah. Susan Sexton says that Jerry Buting likes your tunes. He may let you tour with him on his speaking tour.
Hey, well, I mean that illusion of justice, that's a good commercial for his book, that's for sure.
Oh, that's funny. Let's see here. That's Susan. Let's see. Linda K. Breuer says,
hi, Linda.
That they have a petition signed with as many people as we can, and maybe the governor will pardon him. And I was talking about doing it at the rally with a bunch of people, and I'm the steps with a petition. And all that. Maybe it would work. You never know. It's worth a try. Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, if I'll tell you what, it's going to make an impact. Whether they do anything about it that day or not, it's going to make an impact if they see, say, 300 people showing up on the steps, respectfully, basically protesting what's happened to Brendan, essentially. Whether they did anything or not, dude, that's going to leave an impression. The next day, they're going to be thinking about that big, huge group of people that came there petitioning, what's called, for Brendan, essentially.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think it could be huge. It may not produce an overnight reaction, but I think it will add to the weight that continues to build on this.
Well, and this is the thing. We often don't know what our effect will be. The doing is everything. And sometimes you set out with a particular goal and you never reach it and you have an offshoot of something else. And so the doing is the important thing. So just getting out there and doing that and forget about what happens or what effect it has. I think that's the main thing. And I think, it's tough for me to think of a lot of people making it to the rally. I don't know how many made it there last year, but
I expect this one's going to be a bit more like the one after MAM 1, which was pretty huge.
I hope there's quite a few people. It'd be nice,
Yeah, let's hope.
Yeah.
And let's hope if, folks like us who are popular in the community continue to perpetuate the idea, maybe it can become a reality. We'll have to see.
Yeah, that's right.
I
mean, I know probably 7 or 8 people right now that are going. So you're one of them, I will be there. I would say 80% I'm going to be there.
So. Yeah. Let's see here, looking at the comments. She says, if the Wrecking Crew gets it together, it will be great. I mean, we will do a classy, respectful, and make them pay attention. Stacy songs are smiling faces wearing T-shirts with a petition. So, Yeah, Linda's on board, dude.
Yeah, right on.
She's gung
Yeah,
ho for it.
she's a good fan. Leaves lots of nice comments. So thanks, Linda.
Yeah, they eventually have to realize. Lisa B says they eventually have to realize we're not going away.
Mm-hmm.
See, Connie Musgrove. Karaoke. Let's see, singsnap.com is a karaoke site that lets you do your own songs in karaoke form, and you can
Oh,
upload them. Okay, there you go.
cool. I'll
So
look
it's
that
called
up.
singsnap.com. There you go. So
Yeah, there's, like there is that part of me as like a creative person or a singer. You always want your songs liked and stuff like that. And then your mind drifts sometimes. And I thought, oh, it'd be cool to do that karaoke version and then just get supporters to upload their own version singing just over and
right,
over. That'd
yeah,
be so cool. Yeah.
yeah, it would be funny. Yeah, that would be cool.
Your voice is getting good.
Is it?
Yeah, I haven't heard it for a while, but
maybe
you
maybe it
were
gets
doing
better when
well.
I'm really. Maybe it gets better when I'm really
Yeah.
feeling it.
Yeah,
I certainly wasn't feeling "God Save the Queen," so maybe that
All
explains a
right.
few
Yeah.
things.
It's fun. It's fun that we have a community that you can get serious and you can get light. It's a real.
Yeah.
Been a plus to me because if you remember that first year, there was Reddit and that was it.
Yeah,
That was just texting now and again, reading the documents. But
yeah. For me, it was
fun.
Facebook and Reddit. But
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
that first year.
I never had Facebook back then, but so I felt alone. This all the people I've met, it's really wonderful.
Yeah, it's amazing. My social media IQ has freaking gone through the roof
Yeah, I
since
bet.
3 years ago.
Well, you can see, man. You can see. Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, your videos and I mean your subscribers has exploded.
Well,
So
since
that's awesome.
MAM2, my
Yeah.
subscribers doubled. So
Yeah.
that was interesting. But
Yeah.
that means there's more people out there taking an interest. And
Mm-hmm.
unlike last time, I wasn't there right away
Right.
to start
Right.
making videos. I didn't start making videos probably till 6 or 8 months after MAM1 came out. And
Yeah.
by that time, the initial kind of rush had kind of, relented, I guess you would say.
Mm-hmm.
So I still built, a community. It just built
Yeah.
slowly and slowly
Yeah.
over
I
about
think
a
you're.
2-year period.
Yeah, man.
And then I was about 2,500 subscribers on October 19th. And now I'm at 5160,
Yeah.
5165. So, but yeah.
I just breached 300, which I'm
Thank
really
you,
happy
everybody,
about.
for helping me get there, by the way.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. It's like you deserve it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what song do you use the banjo in?
Doubling Down. I do a lot of other banjo songs, but I'm not sure if I know of
That's
any.
the only MAM one?
That's the only MAM one, maybe.
Yeah. I do
Yeah.
realize now listening to it, okay, it does sound like a banjo now that I'm thinking about it.
The acoustic versions of the banjo, the live version, I mean, it's still there, but it gets lost because the good stuff of Mark, he layers stuff in front of it. And
Right.
So you still hear the odd banjo note, but I really love that. I didn't like it at the beginning, the doubling down version, but I do now. I like it.
Yeah, I liked it.
Yeah.
I mean, but I like the raw acoustic version. So does Jamie. Jamie likes all your stuff acoustic and raw too.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I think there's an appeal there. Hey.
Yeah.
different.
But he was talking about that.
As an opera too, but
yeah. He was actually talking about that, and I was agreeing with him because I don't know. That's I guess what I'll tell you what though. I do like the Barn Studio versions, man.
Oh, they're way
Those
better.
ones are just like off the hook.
Yeah, I mean, I wish there's a couple I would like to change, but I'm not gonna. I'll just do different versions later. That's the way I'm looking at music now. That was just that version. I can do one very similar later if I want, and that'll be that version. And it doesn't have to be one version. You can do it multiple times. So
Yeah.
I think I just talked to TuneCore, and there's a Mama and Papa Avery's that's going to be coming out soon, I think, on iTunes. But there was some issue of getting it released. I don't know what, but so it's fun.
Huh.
Yeah,
interesting.
not that people, it's just we'll see. We'll see what happens. I don't know if I'm actually working on one more song, but it's just really early in the stage right now. So, but it might come out. Yeah.
Well, cool.
We'll see. I mean, maybe Zellner gives me some more material. I hope. Yeah.
Yeah. Who's she going to invite in next?
Yeah. Well, I want to know who's been there already.
Yeah, I know, right?
I mean, there was that one article that said someone confided in her, something to that effect, and I would love to know what she knows.
Oh yeah, I mean,
you know,
I'd like to get my hands on some of the documents that she has for a couple of the wrecking crew.
Yeah.
I'd like to get all the lab stuff, every bit of lab readouts or whatever for everything for Scooby, and anything involving cell towers, phones, call records.
I want
for another guy.
Those latent prints. Those really bug me.
Yeah, well, those
half
too.
prints are latent, and
there's 8. Yeah, and they don't know who they were. What's funny is reading the motion. At trial, they're referred to as how do they refer to it? They said they were unidentified and they were inherently something was wrong with them that they couldn't be identified or something. And it's like, what?
Right.
How is that? You just didn't find the person they match.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So I thought it was weird, but the way it was worded, it was odd.
And who knows how hard they looked. There's so much that's wrong with this case. And I was just listening to that, and that's what happened today again when I was listening to that Bobby interview, Bobby interview. Once again, it raises so many questions. You just get turned around again, like, what the fuck is going on? It's like Bobby answers certain questions that really. He reminded me of Colborn on the stand. He was like, he'd be talking normal, and then they'd ask him one question, and his voice would be really weak, when he answered, which is like a kind of a sign sometimes in that voice reading or body language reading that it's not so truthful, or it might be a lie.
Yeah.
And man, who knows? And then I also watched Rubber Ducky's RH Factor 2 today. There's just so much. It's just bizarre. That's why we're all here, right?
Yeah, right. It's just there's too much there to ignore it. It's like I said, I made a video the other day of if it weren't so obvious, it'd be easier to ignore if it weren't so freaking obvious.
Yeah.
But it's so freaking obvious that
what I was going to ask the people, and they can put them in the comments or make your own video or whatever. But the top 5 or the top 10 things that really are just the worst sort of infractions, like some people it's Ryan Hilgis having the daytimer. Other people it's the key with none of her DNA.
Right.
I would love to know what
the trailer and garage that have not a speck of her blood in it or her hair or any sign that she was ever there.
or there is blood, but it's deer blood, and Stephen knew how to differentiate between the
he bought that special cleaner that only gets Teresa H Teresa Hallbach DNA but leaves the deer blood.
But I'd love to get a really concise sort of list of people of maybe like what the things are that people, because that's what I think as supporters, if we're talking to new people, it would be good to have a concise sort of at least top 5 that you can just go look at. There's tons of stuff, but to get you involved, let's do this. Let's just look at these 5 things, and hopefully when they hear that and they try and figure those things out, then they'll become more. And that's one way to possibly grow the community, which I think would be good. Yeah. So that might be a thing for one of your videos, or all the channels could do their own version. That would be interesting too.
Right. Yeah. Certainly.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, there's no sign of a murder was committed there. Let's see. I did it. Yeah, I did a list video recently. Actually, it was somebody was talking about it here. But I did that list where I showed the document showing the RAV4 impounded on the 3rd. The document showing Stephen reported to the FBI as a murder suspect on the 3rd.
Right.
And then I showed the what was number 3? Can't remember what number 3 was. Number 2 was
Right.
Brendan. I showed part of his interrogation where I just said, look,
Mm-hmm.
this is Brendan. This is Brendan hoping that the truth will help him after
Yeah.
he's already screwed, that type of
Mm-hmm.
thing. And then the number 1 thing was the fact that the quick DNA testing
Was denied.
was denied. But
Right.
what the interesting thing is that it appears that those bones have already, 6 out of the 9 sets of bones have apparently already been given back to the hall box.
Mm-hmm.
And if they haven't been given back to the hall box, then somebody gave the hall box animal bones.
Right.
I don't know why that would happen.
Yeah.
So so that ended up being number 1 in the list. But yeah,
one of the things I tend to do, and it's just my own preference, or it's the way I look at it. I stay away from Brendan bringing up things about him because simply because they can, if someone's new to the case, they can just look at his confession, and I think it's like a distraction, and it can distract them. So what I was like, those subjects, like something they can't, 2 things that hit me just off the top of my head. I haven't thought of them, but the key without her DNA, that's something you can't deny because it was admitted by the state and it was admitted into court. And then the other thing that I'm all over is that this DNA, the hoodlatch DNA, the 1.9 milligram.
Right.
I mean, that is something you can finite because the state's the one that brought it in and they tested it. And so those are like non-pivotable. There has to be an explanation. And so I don't know. I'm just talking off the top of my head, but those type of things that can get people in, like leaning towards something fishy if they need convincing. I personally think anyone that watches the MAM1 shouldn't need any convincing, but
right.
And if they need it, then MAM2 should satisfy them.
Well, I'll tell you what, Stacy, when I watched MAM1, I was very much on the fence about Stephen. I was nowhere near my current attitude. I'll put it that way. I came off of that. I mean, because I watch enough crime shows to know that, I saw some things there that concerned me. I saw some other things that concerned me in the opposite direction.
Oh yeah.
So it's like I was left going, I don't know what happened here because nobody was the adult here. Nobody like put on their big boy pants and ran a good investigation. So it's like this thing is just a huge mess now. Yeah. And that's what really pissed me off about it. And it's like I said, if it wasn't for Brendan, Stephen might not have ever had me making this channel and doing what I do. Yeah. I might not have done it just for Stephen.
Right.
But because I was digging into those documents for Brendan, I ended up seeing more and more that made me go, what the flip is going on here?
Well, that's good. I'm glad. I mean, but for me, the confession is totally bogus. Never believed it. I always thought he was coerced. Like I'm 100% from day one on both of them, innocent, and never wavered. But yeah, I think sometimes people can use that confession just like the state is. They just go, "Oh yeah, well he confessed," and you get it. And so when I talk about the DNA and the hoodlatch DNA and the key, and the other thing I sometimes bring up with people is the barrel being seized and then returned, and then seized again. And those are things like for me, they can't be explained any other way than a conspiracy or a planting or a frame job. And so those are the things I think might be interesting to get a list, that because if you get those people on those things, it's going to be hard for them to waffle in other directions, especially if you have a list of those really sort of hard evidence stuff. Like that hoodlatch DNA, I'm really interested to see how the state is going to explain that. I just don't know how. Because
I don't see how either.
Because if they come up with an explanation, then and we get access to the RAV, then that type of DNA should be on the battery. That type of DNA should be on the interior hood latch release, the prop, but it won't be. That's the thing.
Yeah, so. Right. I mean, and that's just it. I mean, no matter what, okay, look. No matter what, he left 1.9 apparently, according to the state.
The swap.
That's a lot.
A lot.
And it's been very difficult for Kathleen Zellner and them to reproduce that.
Yeah.
So the interesting thing is there's somebody saying, I think it was Falcon or whatever, was posting some statistics from some forensic report or something.
Right.
And it was like saying that 1.9 nanograms isn't like too far out when it comes to touch DNA or something. So I think the state's going to end up going with an argument like that, where they're going to say, well, some accepted circles in forensic science say that this is not that, uncommon. And so I'm thinking there's going to be an argument, something like that.
Sure. Yeah. Classic.
Yeah.
But then it should be everywhere.
But then the problem, but I was going to get to the problem is that, okay, fine. But now you have 1.9 nanograms on the hood latch. Now Zellner wants the RAV4 because she's going to test the hood prop.
Yeah,
the battery cables, the little release inside the cab, she's gonna the door handle, anything that Stephen would have touched, because if he's leaving 1.9 nanogram on one thing, then he's gonna be leaving a comparable amount on the other thing.
Yeah. So that's exactly right. And I've been putting tweets out for about a month of hood latch DNA, and I describe it like this: just take a fisherman. There's 15 fishermen that go to, or fishing people. That go to one spot, same lure, same time of day, same everything. 11 of those catch a minnow. So 11 of those 15. 4 of them catch a fish that's less than 1 pound. And then the state says they fished the same spot with no one watching, and they caught a 19-pounder. That's exactly, that's how the math works if you look at the point.
Exactly.
And so it's hard to believe. So
it is. The hood latch DNA is ridiculous. And it's funny when you read Judge Sukowitz's decision regarding the motion for post-conviction relief. When she talks about the hood latch DNA, it is so freaking obvious to me that she didn't get it.
She doesn't.
She did not understand what was happening.
To not get anything.
I mean, if you're gonna, for me, dude, it's like, even when I don't like something or whatever, it's like I still try to like be informed.
Right.
I still try to, not sound like an idiot when I talk about something, even if I don't agree with it or like it. But it's like she doesn't even have that. It's just like she was like, oh, you know what? Just
she got the if you find anything, you do so at your peril speech, I bet.
I'll bet, yeah. Fallon was in her chambers.
Yeah. and stuff like that.
Yeah. I wish Susan Sexton would hurry up with my little piece of artwork I got her working on. It's going to have Fallon as the Sith Lord. It's going to be awesome.
Well, I truly believe that. He's assistant AG, but I think he's been way more influential.
It's also going to have Brad Schimmel like on his knees next to him, like pulling on his robes. So,
better watch it.
Can't wait for Susan to finish it up. It's going to be awesome. It's going to look kind of like a cover for a Mad magazine. It's going to be kind of interesting.
Maybe we could do a sculpture and unveil it on the steps.
There we go.
Yeah. We'll do it out of butter or something. Something with cheese. We'll do it out of cheese. Sculpture and cheese.
So, somebody's asking about your social media addresses here, Stacy. So you have obviously Twitter, you have Facebook, you have YouTube. Do you have Instagram?
No, I don't. All these things are really new within the last year, so I don't know. Okay. I don't understand what Instagram is. So I don't have it yet.
Yeah. I think it's just a place where you post pictures.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't have any other social media. It's really, where I live is so rural that there's no need,
Right.
Yeah.
So he's got Facebook, folks. He's got YouTube, which the link for his YouTube channel has been shared many times during this live discussion.
Nice.
And then he's got Twitter, and over on Twitter he is Denman Stace.
Denman Stace 1, I believe.
1, sorry, Denman Stace 1,
something like that.
Yeah, so they just put that link up.
Oh, yeah.
So there you go, folks. Those are the Stacy links.
And if you can, I would love to get that subscriber level up on my YouTube channel. So whoever's there.
Yeah, everybody go over there and hit subscribe, please.
That'd be cool, yeah. Mm-hmm. So what's your next little plan? You're going to do these things with Travis, it sounds like?
Yeah, we're going to be working on the motion for post-conviction. Well, we're just going to be going through it and explaining it for people to understand what's coming up.
Right.
With Zellner's filing here, due on the February 1st there. So we're basically just going over this motion so people understand what all's there, what all's being talked about, what all is on the table,
right.
And so, like I said earlier in the beginning, folks, it's going to be a premiere. Like tomorrow night, we hope is going to be the intro. It's going to be a premiere where we go over a section of it in a PowerPoint kind of presentation, and then we will follow that up either that night or the following night with a live where we will take questions about anything you guys had questions about in that segment. And like I said before, remember to get the slide number of where you had a question so that you can tell us that slide number so it's easy for us to try to understand what you're asking us about. Just keep these things in mind, folks. But it's going to be about 5 or 6 parts. And so it's going to be, like I said, it's going to be a premiere and then a live where you guys can ask us questions, a premiere and a live. And that's going to be kind of the format. And like I said, it's going to be about 5 or 6 parts. So for those of you who wanted to get a little more in-depth look of, really what's in the motion for post-conviction relief, everything that's there, because it's a big one. It's a big one.
It's a big order.
Yeah, hopefully we're going to make this where you guys can sit down for some, short segments of time with us, and we can hopefully get you a pretty good understanding of it without you having to go to law school. So,
hey, I think I'm going to mosey. I'm going to go.
Okay, buddy.
I'm going to go onto the chat for a bit.
Okay.
But I'll turn this off because I haven't seen it all, and I might chat for a bit. And but thanks for having me on again.
Absolutely.
And you can.
And you have to play us out though because everybody's been asking for it the whole time. I just didn't want to say it.
Oh no.
They definitely want to hear you though. I don't want to disappoint them.
I don't know what one to play. Maybe. Any requests?
All right, what's the request, folks? Let's hear it. What do you guys want to hear?
Silence.
Which Stacy song, folks? Come on. Illusion of Justice by Spicy Melody.
Yeah, I love that tune. I hate
Linda, Yeah, Linda says Truth Train.
Truth Train's always a good one.
Ziggy says Avery Road.
They're saying all of them. First one to get double. The first one to get
a double here, right?
Two votes.
TikTok. Avery Road it is.
Avery Road. Okay, how do I play that? I forget. Okay, well, here's Avery Road. Thanks, everybody. I got to take this at least one out.
All right.
How's that sounding?
Sounds good.
Wisconsin can be so cold. The scales of justice can erode. If we accept lies big and bold, all we forget, we live on Avery Road. We live on Avery Road. Should be easy to see. This could be you, could be me. We shouldn't sit by idly and accepting everything, all that we are told. I live on Avery Road. I live on Avery Road. I live on Avery Road.
All righty. Thank you, Stacy.
Hey, thanks, everybody.
Thank you, buddy. I know everybody really appreciates it, the live performance, man.
And thanks for having me on, Richard.
And we look forward to seeing you tomorrow night. I really hope you get that set up, buddy.
Yeah, I hope that'll be fun, because that'll be a live. That'll be a venue about 40 or 50 people, maybe.
Yeah, so that's cool. I hope you get that set up, man.
I do hope so too. So okay. Hey, thanks, man.
Hey, buddy. We'll see you. Have a good one.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. That's about it for tonight. If you haven't already, please hit subscribe. Oh, by the way, Stacy said he's going to be heading over to Discord to the lounge. So if you guys want to go over there and hang out with him for a minute, that's something you can do. Yeah, like I said, if you haven't already, please hit subscribe, and we'll see ya.